What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Now, we know the mainstream narrative machine, CNN, MSNBC, all these places, their ratings have absolutely plummeted. And they just have fallen off the cliff right after the presidential election. Now, standard after elections, yeah, politics, people tend to tune out a little bit because they've been highly tuned into politics for the past, however long the election cycle was going on. So people like to back away, like, I'm tired of this for the time being, blah, 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 blah. So this is natural for their ratings to go down a little bit. They've absolutely plummeted, like 40 and 50%. A lot of these shows are barely picking up 30 and 40,000 views in the key demo, which is absolutely absurd, right? So we know for a while that the trust in these institutions, if you will, has been waning, has been also going down and down and down and down and down. And, we speculate. It's not really speculation. It's more of reality that they lie to everybody. They manipulate the crap out of everything, it seems like, right? We're constantly catching them in lies. They lie about this, they lie about that, blah, 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 blah. You get it, right? So there's this story going around from CNN, and I want to kind of zoom in on CNN because I know a lot of people, they pay attention to CNN. They get their news from CNN. And CNN is one of the manipulators. They're not the manipulator in chief. That's MSNBC, by the way, in case you didn't know. MSNBC and NBC, they're almost just as bad, but I would kind of lean toward MSNBC because their hosts, their night hosts, their opinion hosts, they're just deranged lunatics. Rachel Maddow, Lawrence O'Donnell, these people. They're just nut jobs. They're just outright nut jobs. Pretty much every single one of them I've ever seen is just a freaking nut job. Anyway, back to the topic. So there's this video going around, right? And I'm going to run the clip right quick, and we're going to break this down because they're manipulating the crap out of you. They have gotten into Hollywood at this point. They're just making stuff up for ratings. Check this out, y'all.
It tops our world lead as Syria's new rebel leaders say they will not pardon Assad regime officials who tortured and killed prisoners during the decades of his brutal reign. CNN's Clarissa Ward went to a Syrian prison to find someone still locked in a cell with no idea that Assad's regime had fallen.
Deep in the belly of the regime's Air Force intelligence headquarters,
these are English letters.
We are hoping to find traces of Austin Tice, an American journalist held captive in Syria since 2012. It's one of many secret prisons across the city. This specific branch was tasked with surveillance, arrest, and killing of all regime critics.
These are all cleaned out.
We don't find any hints of Tice, but come across something extraordinary.
I can't tell though, it might just be a blanket, but it's the only cell that's locked.
Is he gonna shoot it?
The guard makes us turn the camera off while he shoots the lock off the cell door.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. Okay, so I got a couple of things on this right quick. You notice the setup on this. Oh, we're going into a secret prison, right? Okay, now I know Assad just fled the country, so his regime has fallen. But do you really think that, somebody got to come in? There's a power vacuum. Somebody's going to come in and fill that power vacuum. Do you really think they're going to allow CNN to go into a secret prison and just roam free? Looking for people. We're looking for a journalist over here, y'all. That's insane to think that they would just allow them to roam free. Okay, and nobody's gone through this prison yet. Like, we're going to get to the good bits, but, the other thing is, so they shot the lock off of the door. Okay, first off, what prison actually puts a lock, like a padlock or a key lock, whatever kind of lock, on a prison door? Now, I understand Syria, not a first world nation, so look, I get it, but at the same time, hang on, why would they put a padlock, second thing on that? You're going to shoot it with a gun. Okay, now that sounds like something coming out of a movie, doesn't it? Seems kind of absurd, because that's highly dangerous to do, right? Bullets ricochet. You're shooting a freaking lock. Okay, these things are pretty tough, if you ask me, right? So, yeah, that bullet's going to ricochet off of something and possibly strike somebody. Now, another thing on this, I guess it was more than two things. I'm sorry, y'all, but I can't help myself on this. I'm nitpicking every single little detail because they're trying to pull the wool over our eyes on this one. They're just trying to manipulate some stuff here for ratings. That's what I believe. But the just absurdity of all this, right? Shooting the lock. It's stupid to do. That's something you see in movies. They shoot locks in movies. You don't do that in real life. It's insane.
We go in to get a closer look. It's still not clear if there is something under the blanket.
Oh, it moved. Is there someone there? I thought I saw it move. Is someone there? Or is it just a blanket? I don't know.
I think it's someone.
Hello?
Okay, I just go.
Yeah, it's open. It's okay. Mafi. It's okay. Journalist.
I'm a civilian, he says. I'm a civilian.
It's okay.
مين حطك هون؟
It's okay.
جابوني من حمص. جيت. جابوني من حمص.
He tells the fighter he's from the city of Humps and has been in the cell for 3 months.
Okay, you're okay.
أنت هلا حركة تخاف.
You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
He clutches my arm tightly with both hands.
Okay.
Does
Does anyone have any water? Water.
بدي اشرب مي.
My.
مي.
Okay, it's water. It's water. Okay. Okay. Okay, you're okay.
هدي.
You're okay.
تفضل.
You're okay.
تفضل.
We start to walk him outside. Thank God you are safe. Don't be afraid, the fighter says. You are free.
جابوني. هي ثالث سجن.
This is the third prison they brought me to, he says. The third prison. After 3 months in a windowless cell, he can finally see the sky.
أنت حر.
الله ضو.
أنت حر. لا
الله ضو.
روح حجي روح.
Okay, so I don't know if you guys picked up on any of the cues right there. Let's break this thing down. Let's give this a logistical response right quick. Okay, so we got a guy that's supposedly been locked up in a cell for 3 months. Okay, and since the Assad regime fell and everybody fled, he hasn't had any water for 4 days. Okay, now, a lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, you can die after 3 days of not having water. Well, that's not necessarily true. You could, I guess, but you're going to live longer than that. It's almost guaranteed, but you can't go much longer than that. Like 4, 5 days, 6 days, you're really pushing it. You're on death's door at that point. So, okay, so this guy's been without water for 4 days. Okay, so I don't know if you guys happen to notice. Right, you go look up the symptoms of extreme dehydration, right? You got brain fog. You don't know what's going on. You can barely walk. Things of this nature. Now, I don't know if you guys noticed that, okay, so they shoot the lock like a couple of, I'm not even going to say it. So they shoot the lock. This guy's under the covers in there, right? I guess pretending to be asleep. I'm not sure what was going on. People come in the room, they start saying, is anybody here? Is anybody here? Like, what? Why are you doing this? Like, why are you saying that? If you think nobody's there, but okay, maybe you think somebody's under those covers, which there is, why are you speaking in English, for one? And two, why is this guy not moving? Don't you think, like, he can't be faking to be asleep, right? Because hang on. They just shot the lock off of the dang door. He would be wide awake. I would be on high alert. I would be off in that corner like, what's going on with this? Like, getting ready to, something's about to go down. That, or I'd be laying down flat like, hey, I'm not, resisting arrest or nothing like that, right? But this dude's hiding under a blanket. And they go in prodding around at this guy. And what does he do? He pops right up. Oh, I'm a citizen. I'm a citizen. Hang on. If you haven't had water for 4 freaking days, my guy, you're not going to be that clear-headed. You love when they take him outside, right? He looks up. Oh, the sun. Now, I will say from past experience, okay, it's kind of embarrassing. I'm not really proud of it, but I've been to jail before, okay? Right here in my hometown. I done some stupid stuff, went to jail, didn't get bailed out right away, had to spend 2 weeks in a similar situation, pretty much. Now, I wasn't in Syria. I was in the United States. But I was in a cell with no windows. I had I could not distinguish between day and night. Had no idea what time it was, ever. Right? I just know I got fed 3 times a day and that's it. And there's no way. It seemed like I was in there for months at that point. There's no way this guy would know just immediately right off the top and just tell him, oh, I've been in here for 3 months. I'm sorry. I was in there for 11 days. And I literally thought I was in there for 3 weeks. Yeah, I thought it was 3 weeks. Had no idea that it was only 11 days. I thought it was 20 days. So my reference of time was way off. Way off. I'm sorry. This is staged. I'm not telling you that as a matter of fact. I usually love to bring the facts. I'm just pointing out the logical inconsistencies with this, and this is being brought to you by CNN, right? The leader in news, the leaders of all that is reality, right? The fact bringers, these people. This is absurd. This whole situation, it's got to be a setup, y'all. Like, this just makes absolutely no sense, and they are treating it like, oh, this happened. I'm sorry, there's way too much that's wrong with this for me to buy into this. This is just narrative building. They're trying to get more ratings. There's just so much wrong here, right? Like the guy going without water for that many days and being just fine, right? And, you know, you go through and read the comments on some of this stuff. People are pointing out all kinds of things, right? Not even what I just mentioned, but you look at the guy's clothes. He's been in there for 3 months. He's got regular clothes on. Now, I know this is Syria once again, but, you know, most places they put prisoners into prison attire. But this guy's got regular clothes on. And did you happen to notice his clothes look spotless? As a matter of fact, the guy's got a pretty well-kept beard also. Looks well-groomed. Doesn't look dirty in the least. Doesn't look like he spent 3 freaking months in a Syrian prison. Does it? There's many logical inconsistencies with this story here. And it's floating around all over the place. And a lot of people are talking about it. And I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on this thing because, yeah, I kind of noticed a few things that other people didn't. So I wanted to kind of get that out there and bring that to everybody that's going to watch this video, all 10 of you. Yeah, that's just how it is, but, you know, it is what it is. But this is the type of manipulation that CNN will put you through, right? Like, they are struggling for ratings right now. So, I don't put it past them to stage this entire thing. Now, do I believe there's some truth to this? Sure, that guy might have been in that cell, right? And they may have just came in and found the guy. They may have talked to one of the guards, as a matter of fact, could have been that same guy. They found him, talked to him. Hey, we found this dude in the cell. Oh, we want to set something up. We'll pay you money to do this, to set this whole thing up. Right? Because it looks staged. It looks set up. The guy's clean. The guy's clean shaven, as a matter of fact. He doesn't appear to be suffering from any of the symptoms of extreme dehydration, which he would absolutely be going through if he really was without water for 4 days. It's obscene, if you ask me, what they're trying to do here. But this is the manipulators in chief. Right? The mainstream narrative machine. This is what they do. Trying to get ratings. It's just insane. I'm not outright going to say that it is staged, but however, you know, all the fingers point in that direction. This does not look like they just happened to be looking for this journalist and just so happened to come across a guy, one single prisoner that was left to die in this Syrian prison after the regime fled. That on its face just seems outright absurd. Just so happens. You mean nobody has been going through this prison and noticed the locked door? Oh, it's the only locked door in the prison? Come on, man. Come on, y'all could put something better together. I mean, there's a bunch of Hollywood producers, screenplay writers, all this stuff in Hollywood. They're all over the place. You could get somebody to write a much better script, a much more believable script than this. I mean, really. This is just absurd. There's a little bit more to this. I'm going to go ahead and finish what I recorded. Let's just see what other absurdities are in this thing.
My God, the light, he says. Oh God, there is light. My God, there is light. Okay. Okay. Stay with me, stay with me, he repeats again and again. For 3 months, I didn't know anything about my family, he says. I didn't hear anything about my children. The fighter hands him something to eat. He barely lift it to his mouth. But his body can't handle it. Okay, you're okay. His captors fled during the fall of Damascus, leaving him with no food or water. That was at least 4 days ago. I'm shaking. My face is shaking, he says. The rebel tells him there's no more army, no more prisons, no more checkpoints.
He didn't look like he was shaking all that much to me. Did you happen to notice how clean his clothes was and how well kept his beard looked? Yeah, this is just absurd, y'all. But once again, the main reason I'm covering this is because, I like to point out the manipulations and how you're being manipulated. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of comments under this thing of people like, oh, how sad, blah, blah, blah. Like, feeling bad for this guy. Like they just bought right into it. I'm like, hang on, y'all didn't notice any of the logical inconsistencies? Y'all didn't notice this looked set up? Y'all didn't think that a rebel, whatever they are, the fighters as they were calling them, shooting the lock off of a prison? Okay, prisons don't have that kind of lock. I understand it's a third world nation. I know I already mentioned this, but it's just so absurd that they shot the lock off of a prison door. Prison doors don't have those. Come on, you guys. Get with the program here. There's something funny going on with this story, and I'm not saying that this didn't happen. I'm just saying that this video is set up. It's staged. This right here, what we just saw, is absolutely staged. It's got to be. Too many logical inconsistencies. That the guy doesn't look like he's starving, doesn't appear to be suffering from extreme dehydration, he doesn't appear to be suffering any of the symptoms at all. It's just none of this makes any sense, and I just figured I'd bring this to you guys right quick. And I know I'm kind of running my mouth and rambling at this point, but when you got places like CNN and they're the leaders of the news, you got to watch out for the manipulations because they can pull the wool over your eyes. They do a pretty good job most of the time. In this instance, they didn't do such a good job, in my opinion. They utterly failed on this one, and I'm surprised they actually aired this. But, maybe they're looking to their low IQ population or whatever, trying to just pull one over on people. I don't understand why they would put this out there. It's insane to me to think that anybody would buy into this, but hey, people are buying into it. Like I said, go read the comments on some of these videos. It's like, what? But, to their credit, a lot of people are pointing out a lot of inconsistencies with this thing, right? A lot of inconsistencies. Like, I didn't, you know, some people were talking about his fingernails. I tried to look, I couldn't really tell. His fingernails look well kept. You know, 3 months of fingernail growth, they're going to be kind of long. You know, I couldn't really see exactly how long they were. I don't know how they did. You know, I'm looking at it on my phone, not looking at it on a TV screen or a computer monitor, so maybe you can see it better on that, but, you know, whatever. It is what it is, but, you know, the whole lock thing really gets me, and that they made them turn the cameras off. Why would you make them turn the cameras off? That doesn't make any sense right there. Oh, you want to save the camera. You want to make sure the bullet doesn't ricochet and break the camera. Well, how about you want to make sure the bullet doesn't ricochet into yourself, the guy shooting the damn thing. It's like, okay, y'all, you know, nice try, but you couldn't pull that over on me. You got some people, I'll admit that. You know, I'll give you marks for trying. A D-. There you go. I'll give you a D-, CNN. Do better next time, CNN. The manipulations can get much better than that. I can guarantee you that, because there's been news articles that I read out and I just went right over manipulation. Didn't notice it until I was editing the dang video. So yeah, they can pull over manipulations on anybody. You know, I was editing the video and I thought about something after the fact. I'm like, those bastards manipulated the crap out of me. But it is what it is. Just, that's all I'm saying. You guys, you got to pay attention to these people. That's it. That's all I got for this one. Y'all, don't forget to do me a big favor and smash that like button for me. I sure would appreciate that. Subscribe to this channel if you're new around here. This is what I do on a daily basis. Point out corporate press and mainstream news manipulations. This is what I'm here for, because they manipulate the crap out of everything. Everything. To be frank, everything, just about every single corporate press article I cover has some sort of tiny manipulation in it. Some are big, some are small, but it is what it is. Share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. Tell your friends, tell your family, hey, go check out Political Overwatch, blah, 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 blah. That's the only way I'm going to grow, y'all. YouTube isn't going to recommend my videos to people like they should. But, you know, it is what it is. There's thousands of YouTube channels out there. So I'm competing with thousands and thousands of people. So the fact that you're here watching this video, I really, really appreciate you taking the time to watch my video and get the information that I'm giving out. So, hey, I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That's all I got for this one. I want to thank everybody for watching. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.